Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. This is for educational purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders. May the 4 victims rest in peace, condolence to the families, and may the correct justice be served. and XANA, its timeline is crucial because I believe there were doubts with their timelines. The police was asking the public's help to find out where XANA and E were that night. This was one of the last pictures E and his triplets, Hunter and Maisie, took that night. I assume it's somewhere between 8 to 9 p.m. That would be on the 12th of November, going to the 13th of November. He took his sister Maisie as his date, and Hunter took Maisie's roommate as his date. They all 4 look so happy. It's heartbreaking to look at this picture. I can imagine how devastating it must be for the families. What I've noticed is that you can clearly see that E and Hunter were both dressed in suits. They were smartly dressed. And just in case a fight broke out at the Sigma Chi or on their way home, if they were attacked, if an assault happened, the question is this clothes comfortable for someone to defend themselves in? Because let's not forget, he loves sports, and he was studying sports at the Sigma Chi, at the university. As a cognitive behavior therapist, I like to always study the background, try to find things that may not mean anything, but could actually mean everything. Looking at this picture, it makes me believe that they definitely did not see what was coming their way that night. Because when it comes to Maddie and Kaylee, we have kind of a hint that something was going on when they're walking down with Jack Showalter from the corner club to the grub truck. We heard Jack Showalter telling Maddie, you know they're going to get you for that, Maddie. We could see that something was going on because Kaylee clearly said, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? And Maddie said, I told Adam like everything. So they had a conversation with Adam, and whatever was said to Adam shouldn't have been said. I've always said, and I've always believed, in my opinion, that whatever was said to Adam is what got them unalive that night. If there was a fight, or if he had to defend himself and defend the love of his life, XANA, He wasn't dressed in a tracksuit, comfortable shoes. He was well dressed. And I've noticed that they both have belts on. I'm just saying, belts can be used as a weapon. I wonder when they were at the Sigma Chi, if somebody could have put a roofie in their drink, or maybe even drugged them. The reason I say that is there are a lot of overdoses and a lot of fentanyl going on in Idaho and many other states. It's heartbreaking to watch this picture because the triplets and Maisie's roommate look so happy. They had so much to live for, and their lives were just snatched away from them in the most horrific manner. Many people believe that BK is innocent, and obviously, if BK wasn't involved in this crime, justice needs to be served for him too. But we always have to remember the 4 precious victims were the 4 people who lost their life. BK is alive to tell his story. They are not here any longer. These were the pictures taken that night. Kappa, Alpha, Theta at the University of Idaho. November 13th, 7:17 p.m. Did they get the date wrong? Because it should have been November 12th. After 12 a.m., 12 midnight, is when it turns 13th November. So they all were at this Betty Ball, the party that E, Hunter, Maisie, and Maisie's roommate was at. Now, when you watch all these pictures of all these smiling, happy faces, I just have one question. Has the police spoken to them? Because they all have seen E, Hunter, Maisie, the roommate, definitely. Pay attention. The pictures are all taken at the same place. So all these people at the same party. I wonder if this girl saw anything. I wonder if the police spoke to them, because she seems to be in many of the pictures. Kappa, Theta, Kappa, Alpha, Theta. So this is one of the sororities. You see the big beer bruise? I wonder if this was a sponsor for the party. I wonder if the police has spoken to them. So where did the couple go to after the ball, after Betty's ball? Where was XANA? Could she have gone to the Sigma Chi fraternity party? Or was she at home, chilling and just dressing and getting ready to meet E? Or could it be possible that XANA's father, his story, his version, that XANA called him and said she was at home chilling with E? Could he have come after the party and met XANA at 1122 Kings Road? Because we saw a couple of an empty beer bottle and 2-3 red cups, drinking cups, standing on the table? Did they have a small gathering? Is what I've always asked. Because that makes more sense for me. We saw the forensics taking pictures in the corridor. I've shown you all that several times in this channel. Could it be possible that they got attacked at home while they were chilling? Many people knew the front code for the front door. People could have easily let themselves in, hidden in maybe the extra room, and just barged in and run upstairs. I'm just asking questions. I don't believe the Banfield body cam was a coincidence. Could the three boys and Saeed have come from 1122 Kings Road? Because when I look at the timings, it seems more like those boys could have come from 1122 Kings Road while the couple was there. Because let's not forget, 2:54 a.m. was the last call that was made from Kaylee and Maddie's phone, 10 times on the whole, to Jack D. And then we hear a female yelling, "Stop it, stop." So I believe, I've always said that it's two separate targets. The couple could have been unalived first. It's heartbreaking to say that, but it's the truth. The reason that I say that is because E's mother clearly said 2 a.m. is the hardest time for our family. What does she mean by that? Does she mean her family and XANA's family? Did she just mean her family? I believe something happened to the couple between 2 to 2:30. The reason I say that is I've always shown y'all, I showed this first on my channel actually, when the crowd was yelling, "XANA, no, XANA." And when I went back and researched the time, it would have been somewhere between 2 a.m. to 2:15 a.m. Were they in some kind of fight club? Allegedly? Were they attacked in their house? Were they attacked on the way home? Just questions. We have to ask questions to find out what actually happened, because I don't believe that this case was done in a professional manner. There was always doubts with the timelines of the couple. Let's not forget that. And interestingly enough, the 4chan post explains that the couple and Maddie were the target. I always said and always believe that Kaylee was a target for someone else, either for organization, that she must have slipped her tongue and told Adam or told someone. It could have been a crime of passion from Jack D, because quite interestingly, Murphy was left alive. So it's someone who didn't want to hurt Murphy, definitely. Let's not forget that the Sigma Chi fraternity was under investigation. The president of the Sigma Chi said that they don't have cameras there. And then he acted busy. He said, "I'm sorry, I can't answer many questions," he told Brian Enton. He said, "I have to go to a class." And he said he was a good fraternity brother, and XANA used to come over, and she's cool too. So imagine, he said, "We don't have cameras here." These people from the Sigma Chi fraternity knew what they were doing. Many people have been telling me in my comment section that Huda, you always had your eyes on the Sigma Chi. You could be right. But then I didn't have my eyes on them without a reason. What made me focus on them is that was the last place the couple was at. And the fact that the police don't even know the correct timings. And the fact that the Sigma Chi fraternity were under investigation. Then you have the 4chan. If you add up everything, it's easy to see that something happened to these two beautiful kids from their fraternities or sororities. Like I told y'all, that when I was on Once Upon a Time, this crime channel, true crime channel, he does really excellent job in this case, I personally believe. He tries to figure out, just like the rest of us. And I told you all that somebody called Underdog, which I believe was David Lott, directly spoke to me and said, Huda London, David L. isn't involved. And I said, David, is that you? And then he said, in general, to everybody in the chat, Huda London, don't believe Huda London, she's full of lies. And I just answered him and I said, I got my eyes on you. And I made the eyes sign. If it wasn't David Lott, why would he say Huda London, mental health and crime, David L. isn't involved? Only the people who are involved would try and put down channels that maybe are in the right direction. And I told him, David Lodge, I know it's you, and I personally believe you're involved. And I really mean that. It's not like I'm attacking him. He started on me first. He mentioned my name, my whole name, Huda London, mental health and crime. And to call me a liar, lies is when you spread something that's not a fact. What we are doing is speculating, and we're using a lot of the facts. So let's go to the facts. Since he watches my channel, the fact is that the 4chan snitched on y'all. The fact David L., I don't mention David B a lot. I mentioned David L because I was watching you at the grub truck. The minute Maddie and Kaylee walked in, you and your two buddies, you told them to turn their backs towards Maddie and Kaylee so that they don't see that you were there. You had your hands in your pocket the whole time, and you were watching the girls. Another thing that was a red flag for me, David L., is when you came to pick up your food. The shock on Maddie's face, she looked like she saw a ghost. Something was not right. I observed, I watched, I analyzed, I studied the background. The grub truck and the Banfield has been the two videos that I've been so focused on from the beginning. People watched it and just put it away because obviously there wasn't much there to see. But in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, right up to now, I mean in 2023 up to now, the reason I observed the grub truck and the Banfield is it's like a gift that doesn't stop giving. The more you analyze it, the more dirt comes out. Let me even put 4chan to the side for a second, because that is enormous. Although it explains the targets and motives. But the grub truck, seeing is believing. Banfield, seeing is believing. Everything about those two videos was fishy. I'm happy that there are many channels like Bubbly Waters and many other channels that are paying attention to the Banfield and the grub truck and noticing things. And in fact, getting the students' names. But I wouldn't go that far to get their names personally, because David Lodge and David B. are two people I do not mind mentioning their names because they were everywhere. From the grub truck to 4chan to everywhere. But the three young men in Banfield, I don't put their names up because they're considered as minors. Although they're not minors, they're under 21. David Lodge is a senior. And so is David B. So, David Lodge, I guess you call yourself underdog, since you address me. I'm explaining to you why I started looking into the Sigma Chi fraternity boys, or to the Sigma Chi fraternity especially, and other fraternities. If I go to the other fraternities, oh my God, we have Hunter Johnson, which I believe is a really important person, since he was called first before 911, after 8 hours, or maybe you were there the 8 hours, allegedly. Since nobody called the police for 8 hours, everyone could have been there. Maybe cleaning the crime scene. Maybe rearranging the crime scene, allegedly. These are my speculations and my thoughts. And this is for educational purpose only. These 4 innocent victims did not need to be deleted in such a manner. They had a life. They had loved ones. They had so much to live for. And I still say they all 4 were targets. I don't believe one was a target, and it wasn't like Brian was a psychopath, antisocial personality disorder, more like. Pardon my language. I don't believe that BK was antisocial person disorder, anti-personality disorder person who just came because he had fantasies of maybe Maddie or Kaylee, like the mainstream media is speculating. I doubt. If BK was the person who deleted these 4 beautiful young victims, I don't think he would have had a problem taking off Murphy too and the surviving roommates, because he had an adrenaline rush. It's not like he got exhausted and stopped at the 4th person and left the main witness who saw him. Bushy eyebrows, like DM said. Why would he let you live? You can actually turn around and testify on him. Never heard of somebody letting a witness live. Kind of strange. And allegedly, we've heard that the dog was barking. Or actually, we did hear that in the affidavit. So why would the suspect who was doing these horrific crimes, why would he let Murphy bark and draw attention to the house when law enforcement could have easily come down there? They were at Banfield. Make it make sense. I believe Murphy was left unalived because Murphy belonged to someone besides Kaylee. He belonged to Jack D. Jack D was ruled out the last. He had injury in his hand. I showed you the picture on TikTok. If you go further down to my channel, you'll see him. His fingers are badly injured. The day he came to pick up Murphy and he was standing with his aunt and his uncle, he had a swollen face. And I like how some people said, obviously, because he lost Kaylee. Could be possible. But why would you be ruled out lost? We saw the look Steve G gave Jack D in the beginning. It's all right if they forgave him at the end and I don't know, or maybe they're just trying to lead him on, pretending that they think he's innocent. Maybe the police have told them to play along with it. We never know. Adam used to play with Murphy, and he says he's Jack D's roommate. We've seen the TikTok of him running around with Murphy. Weren't they the two last people, besides Jack Showalter, at the grub truck? Maddie, what did you tell Adam? So Adam was there. What does Adam L know? Did you all see how quickly law enforcement came and debunked him? No, Adam, we checked and there was nothing there. And the G family said, no, they were just having an innocent conversation about Adam. He's the bartender. No, Steve. Besides him being a bartender, that young man used to live with Jack D, the man you are giving the look of death to. If Maddie could talk, she would have said what she told Adam, and Maddie didn't think it would lead to this. I've shown you all this picture before. The person with the circle on his face and his body is E. We can clearly see that. The guy who's on the right-hand side of E with the longish hair up to his neck is Eddie, I believe. He's the guy who opened the door when the police came for the complaint. He and Hunter opened the door and he said, I was just here, I came for a party, I just came in and I'm going out. When the police were saying, don't F around with me. Now what is interesting is pay attention to the window. What do you see? 1122 Kings Road. The Sigma Chi could directly see into all the rooms of the house. Now look at that view. Pictures say 1,000 words. They can see directly into Kaylee's room, Maddie's room, the toilet, that's the third floor, the living room, the second floor. They could see into XANA's room and the ground floor or first floor where Bethany Funk and the spare room is. The only place that they couldn't see is DM's room because it's more on the back side. Quite strange and interesting. And the 4chan said from David L, one of the David's rooms, you can directly see the house, the rooms. When they turn their lights off is when they were going to go in. The 4 figures running were from the Sigma Chi. I don't know why they're playing the old Roman games. We're not playing a puzzle here. All of this can't be pure coincidence. I refuse to believe that. The 4 figures or 5 figures running were running from 1122 Kings Road to Sigma Chi Fraternity. They said they wouldn't take any phone device. They would put it on YouTube so that for them to have an alibi that they were on a YouTube live stream. I wonder who's the anonymous person who wrote 4chan. Could it be Hunter Chapin? It was someone who really was trying to snitch on these people, and I think that is a very respectful person, because that person maybe had nightmares. He couldn't let what happened just go like that. He wanted justice for the 4 victims. And I appreciate whoever wrote the 4chan, because it gave us motives, targets, clues, and everything. So Eddie had a clear picture from this place to the girl's house. He had a clear picture too. May he rest in peace. He could see his girlfriend XANA when she's at home, and I think that is sweet. But these other people had other motives. My question is, surviving roommates, obviously, we're happy that you all have survived. And you all are victims, I can understand that. But it doesn't take 8 hours to be in a shock, frozen state. DM, were you the informer in the house? Or the mole in the house? Allegedly, just a question. Why did you decide to call Hunter first? Even if you're in a shock for 8 hours, wouldn't you call 911 first? You saw a brutal unalivings that happened. What was Hunter going to do? Was he Chief Fry? Was he Moscow, Idaho police? Why did you call Hunter first? Why didn't you call 911? Weren't you scared when you opened your room 3 times? 3 times. And it's a creaky house. The previous tenant who lived there said that you can actually hear you can hear voices and what they're talking about, because the ventilation was that bad, or the house wasn't that well built. The suspect would have heard you opening the door not once, not twice, not thrice, and then he passed you by. He actually passed you by because you got a glimpse of him. You got a glimpse of his bushy eyebrows, but not his eyes. In psychology, we say, it's a known fact, the first thing you see is the eyes, not eyebrows. We usually look into people's eyes. You would have noticed, you would have said, oh, the person was athletic built and he had light blue or grey eyes, because BK has that. You didn't give the description of the eye color, but you gave, even if the lights were a bit dark in the house, you would have noticed that BK is 6'1" to 6'2" feet. BK isn't 5'11". So who did you see? The boys in Banfield, allegedly? Saeed? Who did you see? Why did you call Hunter? What was the deal with Hunter? What magical powers does Hunter have? Does he have police skills? Does he have the 911 skills? What does he have for you to have wasted 8 hours? Didn't you need to go to the toilet? Is my question. 8 hours. There isn't a toilet in your room. even if you want drugs or if you want something else, it would have worn out within an hour or two. Why didn't you call 911? Did you feel safe being inside the house where you saw somebody, you heard somebody saying, "I'm here to help," from XANA's room? You heard XANA whimpering. You heard the thud. You heard the dog barking. You heard Kaylee saying, "I think somebody's here." And you still did not call 911. I find this picture of DM very interesting with the blue hair. Why do you look so depressed there? Were you being bullied by any chance? Just a question. I love asking questions. Questions, that's part of my career. In counseling, we do ask questions. That's DM in the blue wig, and that's Maddie. Well, you're playing a game. Are you crying? Are you acting? DM. Could it be possible that you were being bullied and you just wanted to take revenge? Just a question. Because it's impossible that you didn't hear anything for 8 hours. It was leaked out by the grand jury that you and BF were texting each other. How about that? I can't wait for this trial to start. This is weird pictures. This was the picture I found really interesting. And I've put this in my channel many, many times a year ago. Okay, so I looked at Dylan's VSCO page and she got a photo with her boyfriend on there, both wearing ski masks. The right photo is the rumored ski mask photo that apparently seemed to be around the house at the time of the unalivings from Snapchat. So the one in pink I heard is DM with the pink mask. The one in the black mask is supposed to be her boyfriend, QK, Quincy Kelly or Quinn Kelly. And the one on the right is the interesting one. That person was saying 3:31 a.m. in front of the house. I remember that was said in the beginning. I wonder who that could be. Is that Jake? Is that Jack? Is that Adam? Is that Jack D? Who could it be? Could it be David? Or the other David? All the Jacks, all the Davids? Pick one. It could be anyone. I even heard that Dylan had many pictures that she took that night with her boyfriend, Quinn Kelly, in front of the house on VSCO, and she put it on private or deleted it. Quite strange. And I've seen DM with that same ski mask in another picture. I'll find it and put that up one of these days. So I know that's DM's mask. You can see the person has long pink nails. That's a woman. The other one is definitely a man. Although Quinn Kelly said in his defense, I was in Idaho, Boise. And he said, I've never been to Idaho, Moscow, but not according to the people who leaked it out. Some good person leaked out these pictures and it's the students in the university. For one, that ain't me in the photo. Never even put on a ski mask. And secondly, you can see the date the VCO photo was taken. The other photo is where I was that night. It doesn't sound right to me. He was allegedly seen by people at the house. They took pictures in front of the house. That's Quinn Kelly. So you shouldn't be even trying that. But guess what? Moscow police did not do a proper investigation with social media, with the grub truck, with Banfield, because I've been exposing those pictures from day one. Saeed's pictures, when I first put it out, and when I first put out the grub truck pictures what Joe Vito was watching, not many people were taking interest in it. In fact, I was getting a lot of criticism for that. But it didn't bother me because all I care is about these 4 beautiful, precious souls. They need their justice. So that is allegedly DM. If you ask me, the person in the black mask does look like Quinn Kelly. And you can see his lips are swollen because he's got a cut on his lips. Was there a fight club? Didn't they say that XANA defended herself? And didn't the G family say Kaylee defended herself? Makes sense to me. This is all allegedly. But it's worth looking into these pictures and investigation. They could have been the figures running. DM's truck could have been the black truck or SUV passing by the Banfield. This was the Hyundai that was found in Oregon.
There's receipts in it, broken glass. The gas tank's open. Yeah, this is totally stolen. Rainbow.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there's glass on the
The
seat.
seat is gone. You can see right in there.
Yep. Someone has heartburn.
The car looks so messy.
That looks like prescription things right there, maybe. There's receipts in there.
Who's the, look at the
I know, it's
mirror. The mirror has a mask and some stuff on it.
The mirror has a mask here.
It's a mask. I thought it was a receipt. I'm like,
No,
ooh.
those are like air fresheners that would smell.
DM saw someone with a mask
And that
allegedly.
seat's completely laid back. Crazy. I don't want to touch it and see if there is a license plate on it, but the VIN would be right. Oh, the VIN's right there. The VIN's right there. I just can't. Can you shine a light on that?
So this was the white Hyundai that was found in Oregon, 8.5 hours from Moscow, Idaho. It was just crashed. It crashed and it was just left there.